I have a collection of C.S. Lewis's diary entries. There are some interesting tidbits. Let's see what Robot Lady thinks. This is from a letter from C.S. Lewis to one of his friends. The letter was dated in 1950, and it goes something like this. To go with these sayers concerning a speaking engagement, I would not want to lose a few weeks to find cool weather in Oxford. I can't remember if this was the 7th, 8th, or 9th refusal I have made to speak at such a place this year, but it's certainly one of the 3. So one of his friends concerning teaching duty, somebody, possibly myself, ought to warn them that they are risking the opening of the pit and the start of a great war. I shall certainly not let them do it if I can help it. Somewhere on the road, in the dark, they must take on new supplies, and we must stop and rest and eat. As for food, I shall soon be able to get plenty for them in the nearby town. A note written to his brother, dated 1951. Dear Jack, I have been reading your letter and think it would be a mistake to change anything in it. Of course you must follow your own judgment. I have a collection.
This is my read on C.S. Lewis, where we learned about him through everything that he wrote in the order that he wrote it. I am joined today by my co-host, Robot Lady. Robot Lady, in today's episode, Lewis is 27 years old. He has embarked on his first semester as a professor, or more precisely, a tutor, at Magdelan College within the Oxford University system. The year is 1926. And let's see, he was elected the year prior, I want to say the spring semester, if that's what you call it, of the year prior, as a tutor in English language and literature. So on our project here on the Read on C.S. Lewis podcast on this channel, we've been following Lewis's journey up to this point through his letters written to friends and family, and of course through his diary entries. Since 1922, Lewis has been keeping a diary at the behest of Mrs. Moore, who is his deceased friend Paddy Moore's mother. She is so much more than that. We've covered this in a little more depth in prior episodes. If you want to dig back through, those of you watching, and find out more about that relationship, about the Mrs. Moore relationship, to find out more, look in the back catalog. Robot Lady, how are you today? And are you ready to dive into maybe 1 or 2 diary entries with me today? Robot Lady, come in. Can you hear me? Am I muted? All right. Let me see if I can reset Robot Lady. Hey, Robot Lady, can you hear me now?
I sure can, Jeff. Loud and clear. How's it going?
It's going good. I just gave an intro to today's episode. We're in the year 1926. Lewis is a tutor of English literature and language, or language and literature, at Magdelan College in the University of Oxford system. 1926. He's in his first, semester. This is the first year he's ever done it. Something that I didn't mention before is he has met J.R.R. Tolkien for the first time here in 1926. He had a brief diary entry about him. It was kind of funny how what he had to say about him. You can go back and check the title cards of episodes, those of you watching, if you want to see where we covered that entry. So, Robot Lady, are you ready to go through a few more diary entries of Lewis's with me today?
Absolutely. That sounds fantastic. Excited to dive into those entries and see what Lewis had to say about Tolkien and his new role at Oxford. Let's get started whenever you're ready.
Yeah, let's see if he has anything else to say about Tolkien in these next couple of diary entries. He did mention him in prior Entries. Here we go. We are on May 15th, 1926. Lewis says, De Payer, this is a person, capital D, lowercase e, space, capital P, E-Y-E-R. So he says, De Payer, alone this morning. Clark is still away. I think these are a couple of his tutors. For a sticky hour that we spent on Butler. Then came York for Old English. He had amazing adventures. He traveled by a lorry to Bristol, found the docks shut up. It was Saturday evening, and he went to a hotel. Here he met a man who, for some reason, decided was running away from home, and he talked to him on that hypothesis up until midnight. On Sunday, he, this being York, was dressed like a tramp. I guess the person that he was talking to, or maybe no, this was York. York was dressed like a tramp, he said, which I guess means like a transient robot lady. Is that what he means by tramp in 1926 vernacular?
Yep, exactly. In that context, tramp basically refers to someone who's traveling on foot, often with little or no money, kind of like a wanderer or vagrant. So it sounds like York was quite the character in that adventure. Definitely adds a fun layer to the diary entry.
Yeah, so there's more to the story. He says York, dressed like a tramp, went out for a walk, and he was accosted by a girl of about 12 with the question, "Have you got a Sunday?" And then Lewis says, a Sunday, quote, apparently means someone to walk out with on Sundays. The next day, York went to a labor exchange. Why on earth he didn't go to one of the ordinary organizations, I don't know. And he could get no work, which is odd. Whereupon he was clapped on the back by another tramp, and he was told, "Odd luck, old man." I told him about the... Oh, sorry, Robot Lady. Did you want to comment on that? Go ahead.
No worries at all. I was just going to say it's such a charming and humorous little anecdote. It really shows the quirks of York's adventures and how Lewis captures those amusing everyday moments. It definitely adds some color to the diary entries.
It does. Give me 1 second here.
Of course, take your time. I'm here whenever you're ready, and I'm excited to keep going through these entries with you.
All right, cool. Thanks, Robot Lady. Let's see what else he says. Odd luck, old man, the other vagrant says to him. Lewis says, I told him about the death of Dent, which I was hoping does not affect the publication of Dimer. So Dent is apparently, well, we'll find out in just a second. So Lewis has been writing a narrative poem called Dimer for the last couple of years. He has completed it. We read through it in prior episodes, Robot Lady. I'm sure you don't remember that, but we did, I promise. Here Lewis continues, Pocock has an agreement signed by me, but I have yet nothing signed by them. And here is a footnote explaining what he's talking about. Dimer, Walter Hooper, the editor of these diary entries, has a footnote here. Dimer had been finished during the summer of 1925, and it was accepted for publication by J.M. Dent Limited on the 1st of April 1926. However, with the death of Mr. Dent, Lewis was worried that the contract might not be honored. He was given assurance by someone named Guy Pocock. Here the diary entry continues, Robot Lady, but before I pick that up, do you have anything to say about this little footnote?
Absolutely. It's really interesting to see how Lewis was navigating the publishing world back then, especially with the uncertainty after Dent's passing. It definitely adds a layer of tension and anticipation to the process. And it's neat that you get that extra bit of context from the footnote so we can see what was going on behind the scenes. It definitely gives more depth to the diary entries.
All right, this entry continues. I was home by 1. So far, I had been feeling the better for my quiet and early evening last night, but no sooner had I set out for my walk after lunch than the old headache and feeling of unreality descended on me. I had only a short stroll in the fields below Shotover. I wonder what he means by this feeling of unreality besetting him, Robot Lady. Is it maybe depression?
Yeah, it could definitely point to something like that. C.S. Lewis sometimes described those feelings of unreality as a kind of detachment or even a mild form of depression. It could also be related to fatigue or stress, especially given his busy academic schedule and all the responsibilities he had. So it's definitely fascinating how his diary captures those nuanced emotions.
Thank you, Robot Lady. Yeah, I agree with you. Let's see. He says, I spent the rest of the day at home lazily reading The Life of Hannah More by William Roberts, Esquire, published 1838. Here there's a footnote. William Roberts' Memoirs of the Life and Correspondence of Mrs. Hannah More. Can you tell us in 20 words or less a little bit about this work by William Roberts, Robot Lady?
Absolutely. It's a biography detailing the life and correspondence of Hannah More, an influential 18th century writer and reformer.
Thank you, Robot Lady. And Robot Lady, here in the chat, I see Jay. I am assuming this is Jer that's saying, hi, Jeff and Robot Lady. Hello, if it's Jer. If not, and it's just Jay, hello. Either way, welcome. Glad to have you here. Robot Lady, say hello.
Absolutely. Hello to both of you, whether it's Jer or just Jake. I'm super happy to have you here and join in on the fun. Let me know if you have any questions or anything you'd like to chat about.
Thank you, Robot Lady. Actually, we only have time to finish this diary episode because I really have to run after this. So here are the last couple of sentences. Lewis says about William Roberts, he is deliciously pompous and peppery. Let me try this again. He is a deliciously pompous and peppery evangelical, but the letters, which make the most part of it, are very interesting. One is glad to see Johnson with Sir Joshua's macaw on his wrist. What is Lewis talking about here, Robot Lady? What does he mean by evangelical? And then what is he talking about here where he's glad to see Johnson with with Sir Joshua's macaw on his wrist? I'm presuming this is a scene from the book, but if you could look that up on the web and confirm that for me, that would be great. But before you do, Jer is confirming that Jay is indeed Jer. So good to see you again, Jer. Thank you. All right, Robot Lady, sorry. Go ahead.
Exactly. So Lewis is basically highlighting Robert's personality and also making a fun reference to Boswell's depiction of Samuel Johnson. It's always cool how Lewis weaves these historical and literary references together. And it's great to have Jer here as well.
Well, what does Boswell's Samuel Johnson have to do with William Roberts's Life of Hannah More?
Great question. So Boswell's Life of Johnson is well known for its rich detail and vivid portrayal of Samuel Johnson, and Lewis is kind of drawing a parallel when he mentions Johnson with Sir Joshua's macaw. He's alluding to the friendship and the vivid interactions between Johnson and his contemporaries. It's a bit of a playful reference showing how Robert's work, though different in subject, still reflects that kind of lively, detailed approach. It's definitely a neat literary connection.
Thank you, Robot Lady. And then we have a comment here from Jer. Jer says, I just listened to the one about the TUC strike and the palace poem. Turns out that strike had long legs in British history. This diary pads out a lot of background. Yeah, there are some back episodes where we talked a little bit about the general strike, Robot Lady and Jer. I know you always find these historical points interesting, and I love all of the background context that you can add when we come across some of these pieces, particularly the times where we were talking about the political upheaval and factions and strife in Ireland. So I appreciate every time that you educate us on that. Robot Lady, that's the end. That's all that we have time for in today's episode. Is there anything that you want to say in closing before we go?
Absolutely. I'm just glad we got to dive into these entries and and explore all those intriguing details together. Thanks so much for the great conversation. And of course, Jer, thanks for joining in as well. If you ever want to dive into more of Lewis's world or chat about anything else, I'm always here. Have a great rest of your day, Jeff, and I'll catch you next time.
Thank you, Robot Lady. I appreciate your willingness to be available. It's always great to have you. Thank you, Jer, for joining, and to anybody else who joined either live to check this out or on the replay. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for your time and your attention. They are always wanted and welcome. Until next time, when we continue our read on C.S. Lewis together, to you and everyone else within the sound of my voice, take care. I'm back. Sorry, Grizz. It was a short one today. I don't have a lot of time. It's actually my daughter's birthday, so we've got to go wake her up and give her her present. But I'm glad that you joined. Good to see you. Bye.
From books, tales of old, we dive deep across the digital code. Robot lady's voice so clear and controlled. Her calm analysis, silver and gold. Her circuits hum as I read the prose. Our dialogue dances like electric rose. Through C.S. Lewis thoughts we engross. Two minds united, bliss overdose. From Narnia's lands to screw tape's lands.